Alright, it is Friday. I am going to go visit my daughter. Just a couple hours away. Last Wednesday was her birthday. Tried to take her out last weekend for dinner. She was down this away, but she was busy and didn't, so I'm going to drive up there. 28 years old now, can't believe it. I remember her laying on my chest in a diaper sleeping, us taking a nap on the couch. Well, that was a life I lived like a million years ago. But, so, I made the video. I'm having a little issue with my Smith & Wesson 642 Pro. I gotta send it back. If they can make it so it doesn't do that bad thing anymore, then I'll keep it around. Otherwise, it's gonna have to go. I do also have a Ruger SP101, and this thing is fantastic. It's got a pin sight, so I can put a night sight on there, which I should have done by now. I just have never gotten around to it. It's got nice rubber grips. I put a little skateboard tape on the right side on the plastic part of it. Just gives me a little bit better grip. I am not worried about this one falling apart in the least bit. Both have, here, let me put some snap caps in here. Once again, these are fake bullets. They're solid aluminum. They got a little fake primer thing in there just so you can dry fire them and not wreck anything. Both of these are double action only. This is an internal hammer. You don't see it. This one is external. So when you squeeze the trigger, the hammer does come back. Bang, 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 bang. This has the little push button thing rather than the push forward like the Smith & Wesson has, which actually I kind of prefer this. This is kind of nice the way it works. It's just easier to one hand. I don't have to push my thumb this far and then barely get my finger, you know. It's not that bad, I guess. But I just find that one to be a little easier. Forgot to shut off my alarm. So we're gonna, alright, we'll take care of that. Yeah, where was I? Both are 5 rounds. This one is 357 Magnum. Now, normally, if I'm going somewhere and I want to stick something in my pocket, I want to take something like this. And don't quote me on any of this. This is just, I'm going from memory on what, you know, whatever. This one's aluminum frame. It's got a stainless steel barrel crane. I think the crane is, yeah, that must be, that's stainless. The barrel, the cylinder, the crane, you know, all the real important parts, the release, are all stainless. And again, don't quote me on this because I don't really remember for sure. I'm going off memory, but this is somewhere in the neighborhood of 14.5 to 15 ounces or something. Makes for a very pocketable, you know, whatever. Got about a 10-pound trigger, which that's pretty normal for revolvers like this. You don't want to be reaching in your pocket and shoot yourself in the leg or something trying it. So it's got a longer, heavier trigger pull, usually on revolvers like this. This one has a much better trigger. This is a really nice trigger. And it's staged. I mean, you can like stage it right there and get pretty much like a single action shot out of it. This one might break in like that, I don't know. But this thing's really nice. So this is much like a Kimber K6S in the way that the functions work and all that stuff. This weighs like 25 ounces. So that's like 3 pounds more, right? Like a half pound, like 8 ounces, you know. Big deal, 8 ounces, right? It does make a difference carrying it. Now, this I can stick in my back pocket and put a hoodie on, put it over, and the same as I can do with this one. This one does stick out a little bit, depending on what pants I'm wearing, how big the pockets are. But I can stuff it in my back pocket, and I still trust, you know, everybody, oh, you gotta have a pocket holster, gotta have a pocket holster. I don't see where, look at that, look how that just stages right there, and then, bink. And that's what I hear about the K6XS too. K6S and K6XS. I hear they do that same thing. I have not fondled one yet. K6XS might be what'll replace this one if Smith & Wesson can't make it quit doing. Just to recap, these J-clip speed loaders I have, you kind of have to push on the thing and then peel the little rubber thing off, and the whole crane pops right out of the frame, and then you can't get it back in. I suppose if I banged on it, you know, then I'll probably break the screw off, and then every time I open it, the whole crane will fall out. And that's just unacceptable. I mean, I love the Smith & Wessons. I had one of these years ago. I sold it, and I wish I hadn't, but it wasn't the Pro model. And this supposedly has a little bit, with what I've been told, again, I don't know, the standard one has like a 14-pound trigger. This one has like a 10-pound trigger. I don't remember. It was so long ago that I had it. I don't remember. I'd have to shoot one right after the other, you know, and see what, and just see how it works. But this one has such a nice trigger right from the factory. I actually did springs in this. I still have the trigger return spring in there, the aftermarket, the Wolf. But I had the hammer spring in there, a lighter hammer spring, and I did have a few times where instead of going bang, it just went. And the second time around, every one of them went off. But I want it to go off every time. And this right here, I would say this is, if that's 10, I would say this is probably 7 pounds. Maybe 8, I doubt it. Probably 7 pounds or so. It's so nice, and you just get that, just stage, bang, bang, bang. There's no wall, it's just a nice crisp, clean snap. So the hammer does go back just a tiny bit more when you finish, but it's really nice. And, you know, this is going to mitigate recoil much better because of the extra weight and everything. So when I'm going to visit my daughter today, this is going with me, because I will bet a lot of money that this isn't falling apart. I'll get out those speed loaders, but that crane's not coming out of there. There's no way. And there's no funny little screw holding it in, you know. It's now, I trust this a lot more than I trust this right now. Smith & Wesson can fix it and make it work right. That's great. But this is kind of just a little comparison. I'm, you know, not a real in-depth comparison or anything, but just a little comparison between the two. They both are double action only. Both are 5 rounds. This one I could put any kind of sight, fiber optic or you know, tritium, whatever they make for them. I'm sure that both are out there. This has, the front sight is black. So this one I painted yellow. I gotta go get some red fingernail polish. I'll use red. But even that yellow is just not, I guess black would have been even better than, I mean, for a defensive pistol, you know, this isn't a sniper rifle, okay? This is a get off me thing. Get off me. So sights on these aren't as important as they are on other firearms. I mean, there's no question about it. But this is just a piece of beauty here. Ruger makes such a good freaking revolver. They just always have. And I don't want to go out and shoot this. Maybe I'll go out and pump off a few rounds in the backyard before I go. 'Cause I got time. I got plenty of time. Both are about 2 inch. I think this is 1.8 inches. I think this is 2.2 or something like that. A little bit more barrel. It is a little girthier. I just put it in my back pocket. I went out. I was walking around with it in my back pocket, and I didn't really even notice it was there. So it's not that heavy, but it is nice to have a nice light little package. If you can trust it not to fall apart when you're trying to reload in the heat of battle. You know, the chances I'll ever need a firearm to defend myself are so slim. It's not even funny. But, you know, what is the saying? It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So, yeah, I like that black sight on there that makes it. And this has a better gutter too, that you can really kind of see it. This is a lot. It's kind of the color of the frame and the sight. They just kind of look this. It's hard to distinguish a difference. So I should have used red, and I'll get some red. I'll get some fingernail polish remover, take that off, and do red. But first, it's got to go back to Smith & Wesson. I'm not wasting any more time or effort or anything on this until I can rely on it. I know that the problem's resolved, and the crane won't fall off. Crazy. I've never seen anything like that before, and I hope they can fix it. Otherwise, this will go away, and I'll get a K6XS to replace it. I've not fondled one. I want to see it. But, and they tell me, the videos I've watched, that the trigger in that does the same as this. Same thing. It'll just get right to that, and then bang, bang, bang. So, with that having been said, today, well, in the foreseeable future, I don't know how long it's going to take to get this to them and get it back and all that kind of stuff. So, this is the one that's getting the call, and I love this thing. Thought about selling it even, but I just can't bring myself to do it. I had one years ago, sold it. I kicked myself in the butt for years, and I finally bought another one, and I'm not getting rid of it. Same with this. I had one, I got rid of it. But with the problem that it has, it's unacceptable to me. I'm not gonna trust it when it literally just falls apart in my hands. So, I get, just don't use those speed loaders, right? But I like those speed loaders. They're ones I want to use. So, and speaking of that, I got to practice a little bit with the speed loaders on this. I don't remember. This one's a little bit fiddly, but it's so small and this grip kind of sticks out. This is an aftermarket grip. It's a Hogue I put on there, which is pretty much exactly the same as the factory, although it does feel better. I do like it better, without a doubt. But it's the speed loader, when you're trying to pull it out, gets stuck on that grip. I could sand it down or something, I guess, and make it a little thinner through there, but because while grabbing it, that really isn't going to make a difference. Though it does give me a little shelf to put my thumb on. But yeah, I don't know. This one's going with me because I can trust this not to fall apart. Nothing's ever fallen apart on it. And I don't know if you've ever taken one of these apart. The way they made this whole thing is just genius. It's unbelievable. It's all modular. Like, all the frame is just one piece. You don't have a side plate screwed on or anything. It's all one machined piece of stainless steel. And everything's modular. And you take the hammer spring out, you take the hammer out, which is a pin that goes through here, and then the whole trigger assembly just pops out. It's just beautiful. It's just an absolute work of art, no question about it. And that stainless is just beautiful. So, and I'm telling you, the factory trigger is just fantastic. For a factory trigger, it's so good. So this one gets the call for now. God, it's so good. This is getting the call for now. Maybe when I send this back in, maybe they'll be able to fix it, and maybe they'll send it over to the performance center and have them do a trigger job on it for me too, just for the inconvenience. I highly doubt they'd do anything like that, but it would be nice if they did. You know, here, we did a trigger job on it too for, you know, to, you know, just as a service to you, just to make it a little nicer. So we want you to like our products and, you know, whatever. That's, if it were up to me, I would do something like that. I mean, if they send it back and I know, yeah, we screwed that up. Here, we'll fix it. And then here, Tony, Tom, Tim, Frank, send it over to the performance center and have them do a trigger job on it. I want to take care of this guy. I want him to buy our products. I want him to have faith in our products. I want him to make it, you know, I want him, when he thinks pocket revolver. What's up, Lola? Here, come on. Last night I had the cat, now I have the dog. Come on. Dude, Girly, you're... Alright. Alright, here, you get to be in the video for a second. Okay? Are you happy? You cat, dog, you just want to get in wreck my videos. Stop it. Stop. You beautiful girl. Stop it. Go. But, so, anyway, that's where I'm at with my... Now you're knocking my glasses off? Come on. That's where I am with my pocket carrying revolver at this point in time. And I want very much to have faith in the Smith & Wesson and be able to carry it. But right now, I just can't. I just can't do it. You know, the thing pops out. You can't push it back in unless you take the screw out. I'm sure I could bang on it and break the end of the screw off, and then every time I open it, the whole crane falls out. I don't know. And what if it gets worse? So every time I open it, the crane falls out. You can push it. I can push it, and it kind of comes out a little bit. That's just, man. This one, I'm not pushing this crane out. It's not coming out of there. There's no way. So that's what it is. Everybody have a great Friday. I get to go see my baby girl, who's 28 years old now. I can't believe it. But that's the way that it is. So have a great Friday, everybody. And I'll post a video later about this. If they, I don't know how long, I send it in. It'll probably be 2 months before I see the thing again. If I'm lucky, you know. So, but we'll see. Take it easy, everybody.